皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today guys, I'd like to talk about something that when Harumi and I were on the date, I am not too sure if the other podcast came out first, but I'm actually right now in Fukuoka right now. That's the reason why I'm recording with my smartphone, not with my regular microphone, even though I'm inside a room. But anyways, I was able to let our kids stay with their grandmother, which is my mother-in-law, and Harumi and I were able to go on a date, just the two of us, with no kids, no family, just the two of us. It was the first time in, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 years possibly. It was an amazing time. We went to have a local Fukuoka cuisine. It was beautiful, delicious. The restaurant, the interior, amazing staff, amazing food, amazing. Everything was great. But one of the things Harumi and I, if you leave us by ourselves with some alcohol for me and with maybe some pop water for Harumi, we will talk forever. I always talk about this. Sorry, this is completely off topic, off today's main topic. But Harumi and I, of course, we are husband and wife. We are also, kind of like girlfriend, boyfriend still, but also best pals at the same time, best buddies, at the same time. So we can literally talk forever, but we talk about so many things. But one of the things we talked about is about how we are raising our kids and all the struggles we have, the things we're concerned about and the things what should I say? If you're raising kids too, it's always like that, right? I mean, like, always, was that the right way to scold them? Was that the right way to teach them a certain thing? Did I take away their confidence or, creativity? Or you're always constantly worried if you're being a good parent or not, And yeah. I was just talking about that, and we were talking about how our parents used to raise us. And that topic got into the conclusion of, although I really, I don't hate it. I don't hate myself speaking in Japanese, but the reason why I enjoy, I guess, myself when I speak English a little bit more is because of how my parents raised me. And I want to talk a little bit about this because I guess this is kind of related to, how should I say, Japanese society itself works. If you take a look at how my parents scolded me, when I was a child, when I did something they didn't want me to do, the things they said to stop me from doing those things is, I personally feel, from my experience of growing up in the U.S. for just a little bit, just 6 years, but just a little bit, and, having a Chinese family, I really feel it might be a little bit unique to Japan. But anyways, to make a long story short, my father, often, whenever I did something bad, for example, if I go to a restaurant with my family, and if I acted a little bit too loudly, or, kids tend to do that, what he would always say is, he would say, shut up, first of all. Shut up, Shogo. Look around you. Look around you. Is there anyone else as loud as you are? This is the way my father used to scold me. Yeah. It sounds, I don't know, maybe it works in some cultures, even if it's an English-speaking country, but I personally feel that I've never ever heard of anyone else outside of Japan. Maybe in Asian countries you might have it, but I really felt that this is a very in a way, I think from certain cultures it would sound like a very weird way to school a child. It's not about that person. It's not about you need to be more quiet because it's going to be, not so good for you in the future because, for example, you're causing trouble to other people, you have less friends, so on and so forth, would be beneficial for that child, right? You're trying to explain why. But all you're saying is look around you. Everyone else is not doing that. Therefore, you should not do it either. Is a very, very, what should I say, the Japanese groupist mindset that I always explain, you can understand that. And my mother always scolded me a different way too. What my mother always said was, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me is the way that she would always scold me. So for example, I'm acting loudly or I'm doing stuff that she doesn't want me to do in public. She wouldn't say you're being, you're disturbing other people, you're what should I say, going to be losing relationships in the future, so on and so forth, all of these kinds of things that would be beneficial for me. No, what she would say is, you're embarrassing me. Yeah. So this is the way that many children in Japan are raised and are taught as they grow up. So you can easily understand how much, people in Japan are constantly scared of other people's eyes and what other people would think of them. This is the way, again, as I explained many times before during the Edo period, the smallest unit in society was not an individual, but a group, like a clan or a company, or a family. So whenever someone causes trouble within a family or a clan or a group or anything, everyone else would be have to suffer from the punishments together. Like, for example, the 47 Ronin, the first incident that happened that, there was a clan lord that tried to attack a different lord at a ceremony in the Edo castle, tried to attack him. And of course, the Kira side, the enemy side, that it wasn't killed, but the Ako lord was sentenced to seppuku, and then his younger brother was also taken away his rights as a higher rank samurai, and he was sent to Hiroshima as a lower rank samurai, right? But his younger brother obviously did not do anything related to the incident itself, but he was also involved in it. But that was common sense back in that time. So this idea of, what should I say? You are a part of something bigger is a mindset that was carried on into the Meiji Restoration, to World War II, and of course even today in Japan. And this is the reason why whenever I speak in Japanese, as I said in the beginning, I don't hate myself or anything. I can live with my Japanese self, of course, because that is my main shogo, the main shogo that exists within me. But whenever I speak in English, I'm much more free. Well, of course, it might be because I grew up in a specific, state in the U.S. or was living in the state in a certain timing when I was able to feel that freedom. When I was in elementary school, grew up in Michigan. Maybe it'll be different in each, state in America, or maybe it'd be different if I was still there until a teenager or an adult. Maybe it might have been different, but at least for me, it's just so much more relaxing. I can just simply say what I want to, do what I want to, and I'm just feeling so much more freedom compared to when I'm speaking in Japanese, because I have to be always worried about every single word I say, how I say it, when I say it, who is listening to me. All these kind of things always are constantly haunting me whenever I speak Japanese. And I do want you to know that I am a highly sensitive person, as I explained in one of my previous podcasts, HSP. So among Japanese people, there are tons of people who never ever care about what other people think about them too. By the way, there are Japanese people who do that, but I am definitely a kind of person who is really, really constantly concerned about it. And that's obviously because of how my parents raised me. So as I raise my kids, I really want to not say these things to my kids. What should I say? It is really, of course, important that you look around yourself and try to understand what the people around you want, like your friends, like your family, like the people in your company, so on and so forth. It's important that you care about them, but you shouldn't be trapped by their existence, if that makes sense. So I just really want to tell my kids, whenever they do something not so good that I don't want them to do, if it's something related to their safety, I will just literally tell them directly that that's not good. Just don't do that. That's like, trying to cross the street when it's a red light, for example. That's simply very, very bad, so you shouldn't do that. That's not like explaining why. It's a matter of immediately stopping it, So that's a different story. But, for example, if they are having bad table manners or they're not holding their chopsticks correctly and so on and so forth, I can tell them that table manners is important because it's a form of communication, If you don't have good communication, if someone sees you having bad table manners, those kind of people will automatically judge who you are just by seeing you do that. So that's really what should I say? That's very wasteful, right? Even if you're a great person, people might judge you just by the surface. We're built like that. Our brains are built like that. So that's what I would explain to them, and not say, "Look around you. You are the only person who has bad table manners." Like, that for me is not logical or rational at all from my point of view, at least from my beliefs. Maybe it's because I grew up in the US, and maybe it's thanks to that, but It doesn't make sense to me that much. And I don't want my kids to be haunted like that, like how I am still haunted, even when I'm 28 years old. So just wanted to share this with you. This is a topic that Harumi and I was talking about during our beautiful, amazing date that we did together. And it'd be great if you can let me know your opinions and thoughts in the comments. And this is Nagi. I'm recording in my room in Fukuoka right now, but she came here and she wants a hug. So I'm hugging her right now. Thank you so much for listening, guys. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. As I always say at the end of these podcasts, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know there's a lot of people studying Japanese willing to come to Japan to study, travel, or work, or even train our traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future, because we're facing a lot of social problems, we are losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life trying to make Japan a better place. I want to try to solve the social problems, preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do this, the nearest goal I have right now is to raise money to buy my very first bamboo shakuhachi, to do more collaboration videos with Kamina Daisuke-san and promote the beautiful world of the shakuhachi and Japanese traditional culture. And also, if you can check out my Suzuki page, we have our limited edition merchandise on our pages right there. I'm so sorry, Nagi was just about to press the stop button. So if you can check it out, it's only sold until the end of 2022, so I hope you can check out our merchandise on our Suzuki page too. Then, thank you so much for listening, guys. Ni-chan, bye-bye. Bye. And she doesn't say it. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.